Well, we've got basically the flagship vehicle for Hyundai Motor Company here at Pebble Beach. We call it the Vision G. G stands for Genesis. It's a large luxury limousine coupe, and it's basically our latest evolution of our premium language and our premium design language for Hyundai Motor Group. So she's a big car. She's about 5'1" long. The door itself is about 1.5 meters long. And we've got this really wonderful stance to the car, a posture of a cruiser. It's basically the kind of car that you don't really wind down the roads, but it's really meant for the sort of weekend escape, if you will, with a significant other. We've got a posture of a cruiser in motion, and then we have basically in rest a kind of movement to the car based on this sort of slingshot line that's coming off the tail light all the way across the car, all the way into the front grille, which really gets a really wonderful feeling, a planted feeling in the rear with a substantial C-pillar and a nice roof for four plus people. We have kind of an experiential aspect to the vehicle we call the virtual valet. It was really important for us to sort of express the chivalrous aspect of the car, the sort of respectable customer that was very important to us. It was really derived from this idea of a sentinel or a friendly concierge that would be in a fixed position alongside the door and waiting for the customer to come along and pick up their car, and they simply tap on the car door here. The door is conventional swing open. The drama is not about the door. The drama is about the personal interaction between that valet and the customer. So we're trying to emphasize that point rather than the emphasis on the car itself. So the car actually facilitates this kind of feeling of human interaction versus interaction with the car, and the car is not screaming for attention. And then quite simply, owner is back in the car, shut the door. And this could apply to the significant other, wife, or whatever. And that you're constantly in contact with that person as opposed to having a door in between them. But the calling card really in a car such as this is the sort of coat of arms that the grille represents. And what we have here is kind of an abstraction in these wing-like shapes here of our Genesis badge. And this is multiplied across the grille mesh here in a kind of chain mail fashion, and it sort of has this noble feeling, like a knighthood coming in from battle, really. And it has just enough shining armor, if you will, that provides that protective quality and then also that quite elegant sense. But again, pushing the boundaries of luxury, but not overstepping the line into that sort of ostentatious world. We've got an interior here that's largely very logically set up. We wanted an interior that really played background and a supporting role in the design and the operation of a vehicle. The driver is meant to safely operate the vehicle, so in my estimation, a really good design is really all about the interior, setting up the controls, setting up the focus, and not really screaming for attention every single place. We wanted to put sort of an accompaniment of this idea that really what's important is the landscape and the view to the outside. So we've got a very stretched and open instrument panel. We have an industry first LCD screen adjacent the main instrument cluster for the driver. This is curved in this fashion so that the driver can have a kind of control over what's happening with the MMI, and at the same time for the passenger, if they want to interact with the car, there's enough of a view from the passenger side for that shared experience. But essentially, if they wanted the shared experience, if they wanted individual serenity, we offered both in the car. We had a very light touch to the color materials of the car. This is a really nice feeling, and then it's contrasted against this dark walnut here with these bronze inlaid. You know, if a company like Hyundai wants to be global, then we have to do that with a global effort with our design staff. So this is largely the effort of 3 locations worldwide in Korea and in Europe, and as well as in California, North America here. So we feel it's very, very important that we have a very good collaboration and a very good communication with our design staff in order to accomplish this global feeling. We didn't want to overcook the detailing, really. It was really largely a statement that was balancing, I'd say, intricacy and restraint, because we really didn't want to make too much of an ostentatious kind of a statement with this vehicle. I mean, let's face it, it's sort of an inescapable fact that this kind of car really exists for the purposes of showing off. So there is a bit of for the accomplished, successful customer that's out there. They want to be able to show about their success. But there's also, after the glam factor wears off, that particular owner should have a sense of dignity, and also a sense that they have and are expressing a kind of inner power and beauty in and of itself. So we were really trying to aim for that customer that was very confident, that was very comfortable with their purchase. Not necessarily a customer that couldn't afford something more expensive, but basically a customer that was sort of self-confident, and when they rolled up to the red light next to, say, a competitor car that was maybe twice or 3 times the price, they'd feel very satisfied that they made this decision.